You're only saying this because you want to build your own empire. You wicked man. Greetings, I'm JC Pilcher, and this is JCPC Apologetics. Well, hello and welcome to another Monday and another episode of Bad Arguments. Today we're going to deal with one that I have seen personally in my comment section, and it's a very interesting argument, and interesting in a bad way. This argument is basically, you're trying to build your own empire.
What's wrong with you people?
Now, what I find very interesting about this argument is that when they say you're trying to build your own empire, they mean you're trying to build your own ministry, you're trying to do. And there's an aspect of that where it's like, well, yeah, there is a point where that's true. I wouldn't say I'm trying to build an empire. If you're trying to say that I want to build an Alpha and Omega Ministries or what other good ministries are there? An Answers in Genesis type ministries, something that big. If God saw fit to make it that big one day, that's fine. But I am trying to build a platform. I'm trying to build a apologetics ministry. That's true. Does that mean that everything I say is wrong? There is an underlying assumption in this argument that if you are trying to build a ministry of some sort, that everything you are saying is a lie to get more views. And I've had people say basically that much. For example, on my Miles Monroe video, they say, well, you're just attacking him because you know that will garner a bunch of controversy and you'll get more views. Which is funny that they know what my mind is thinking. They can read my mind. Is that what they're trying to claim? Aside from that nonsense, what this really to me reveals is kind of the dark part of their own minds. That they assume that to speak out against somebody or to try to build a platform, you basically have to lie. Which makes me ask, well, how did Miles Monroe get famous? Was he lying? In his case, yes. He promoted a whole bunch of lies. Most false teachers out there, that's what they do. They get famous because they tell you what you want to hear. They tell you a bunch of lies that you want to hear to make themselves famous and rich. But just because some people do it doesn't mean that everybody who is trying to get teaching out there is doing it knowingly lying in order to get it, to get a platform. That's just really bad logic and requires one of two things. Either everyone who's ever built a platform is lying for the sake of getting a platform, or two, you can read that person's thoughts. You can read that person's mind. Neither one of those are true. It's just a really bad assumption. Not only is it a bad assumption, it's also, again, guess what? Another ad hominem attack. The idea is, if you're trying to build a platform, you can't be wrong or right? Excuse me? That makes no sense. Everybody who has a big, a ministry, big or small, it was small at some point. Are you telling me that every single one of those people built it on lies? Well, no. You just see that this argument is just absurd no matter what angle you come at it from. Let's say a guy was legitimately, that is his goal. Again, I'm kind of honest with you. It's my goal to make this channel bigger. What's how big do I want it to get? It doesn't matter. I don't really care if it stays at, 100 subscribers or if it goes up to 100 million. I don't care one way or another. I will work my hardest to build it in a right way. And by right way, I mean I'm not going to change my message. I'm not going to change, or stop talking about certain things because I find that, when I talk about this, I don't get as many views, I don't get as many subscribers, because there's the analytics that you can look at and it'll tell you what things work. For example, I have learned that if you stir up controversy, if you talk about somebody, Miles Monroe, Beth Moore, the two that I did, that's when you get lots of subscribers. I could grow this channel really fast if I just made a list of false teachers and hit every one of them. I could do that, but that's not really the main point of this channel. That would build my channel faster, and maybe this is the mentality that leads to people saying this sort of thing. It's a point that is almost legitimate, but when you actually start breaking it down, it's like, oh yeah, it's just an appearance of legitimacy. And certainly there are people out there who will lie to build their platform. I'm not, disagreeing with that point. But when you disagree with somebody, you just can't throw that out there. That's a bad argument, and it's just bad character, because you're slandering the guy. You're assuming you know his motives, and you're not actually engaging with his ideas. For example, I say this guy's a false teacher. He teaches A, B, C. These are wrong. Oh, you're just lying because you want to build a platform. But you haven't proved that A, B, and C is a lie, or that what I think about A, B, C is a lie. You just said you're lying because you want to build a platform. That's not an argument. That's not an argument whatsoever. And the part that really bothers me about these ad hominem attacks is that people don't seem to understand that that's what they're doing. If you are going to disagree with someone online, and what you think to do is attack that person, let me just give you a little piece of advice. Whatever you're about to type, don't. Just leave. Because the man who, and when I say man, I'm referring to mankind. Women do it more than men, actually, in my experience. When a person comes to you and they attack you personally rather than engaging the idea, that person is a fool. There's nothing else to say. Because you are sounding off like you think you know something, and all you're demonstrating is that you don't. You can't defend your position. You can't defend what you believe. You strongly hold to convictions that have no basis in reality for you. And what do I mean by for you? I mean, even if you're right, because, you find people who are correct who will do this too. Even if you are correct, you don't know why you're correct. Being ignorantly correct is not an excuse. Being ignorantly wrong is even dumber. So resorting to the ad hominem is just foolish. It's just stupid. Stop it. If you can't articulate why you believe what you believe, don't waste people's time with your dumb opinion, because your opinion is foolish regardless, because you're holding to it without reason. Peter said to be willing to give a defense, a reasoned response for the hope that is in you. If you can't reasonably respond or defend what you believe, then shut up. Attacking the guy that you don't like, that's not reasonable, and it's not a response. So yeah, it doesn't matter if that guy wants to build an empire. If the guy wants to build an empire and is in it for the money, is what the guy's saying true or is it false? If what he says is false, then reject him. If what he says is true, and he's in it for the money and just to make a name for himself, then say, discuss with the guy. What you're saying, it's true and all, but to be honest, your motivations seem a little out there. And you have to assume in that situation that you don't know that he's in it for the money, because no one's going to come out and say, I'm in it for the money, I'm building my name. There will be evidences suggesting that, right? And that's when you just appeal to the guy. You might need to check your heart on this one, buddy, because it seems like the money and the fame, that's what you're after. What you're saying is true, but are you doing it for the sake of gain? In that case, you have to appeal to the guy as a brother, not just attacking him. But of course, the people who use this argument never will use that approach, because it's for them, they're not really worried about that. It's about defending whatever bad teaching or bad teacher that they want, and they think they discredit you if they just say it's for the money or for a ministry. Sorry, you kind of missed the whole point of the argument. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. If you have stumbled on this video and you think that I am out here to build an empire or to build my name, or if you think that I'm just babbling nonsense, well, I have a video for you. I'm going to link it at the end of this one, and it's called What is the Gospel? There, I will explain to you what we as Christians believe, and it will give you an idea of why I do what I do. I'm putting these videos out here because I am following the command of Jesus to go and make disciples of all nations. I want to see people, through the influence of this channel, come to Christ. Not so that the channel will grow, but so that Christ will be glorified. That is our goal. If Christ is glorified through this channel being small, God, let it remain small. If he will be glorified through it being bigger, God, I'll take it being bigger. Either one works. I'm happy to remain wherever God puts it. But the goal of this channel is so that people who stumble on it will be saved if they are unsaved, and that they will mature as believers if they are not. And if you are a believer, or you think you're a believer, and you're not sure, I recommend you check out this video as well. It's always good to be reminded of the gospel because we so often forget it. This morning we might be reminded of the grace of God and how we are saved by grace through faith. And then later on that day be wondering, am I saved? Am I saved, such an unworthy sinner as I am? And we have to be reminded all the time of that gospel. So I hope this was beneficial to you guys. God bless, have a great day, and I will see you on Friday.
What's wrong with you people? I'm serious.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment below and feel free to like and share it so others can see it as well. Also, subscribe so that you can keep up to date on future videos. And as always, please check below to see resources that I've used that might help you to further your studies. God bless and have a great day.